Welcome to Build Wealth Logically. Let's calculate, invest, and grow. Start building your wealth today.
All right, let's just get right into it. The big question, the one everyone asks about solar. Is a battery actually a smart investment, or is it just, a waste of money? Well, today we're going to figure that out. We're asking, are solar batteries finally worth it here in 2026?
Okay, so full disclosure here. If you had asked me this exact question just a couple of years back, my answer would have been a pretty hard no. I mean, the tech, especially that lithium iron phosphate, you'll hear me say LiFePO4 a lot. It was promising, for sure. But the numbers, they just didn't work. They were expensive, and the cycle life, it just didn't justify that premium price tag. I was telling everyone to wait. But now, here in 2026, that advice is totally out of date. The entire landscape has shifted. Seriously, what used to be a very cautious, hey, let's wait and see, is now the data is in, it's time to go. We are at a genuine tipping point. And I don't mean just a small improvement. No, this is a fundamental change in the economics of storing your own energy. Why? Because the math itself has changed. So here's the key, and you really got to listen to this part. The value isn't just automatic. You can't just buy any battery. You unlock it by getting two things exactly right. First, the chemistry. You've got to go with lithium iron phosphate, that LiFePO4 I mentioned. It's safer, it's way more stable, and it lasts so much longer. And second, and this is the one almost everyone gets wrong, you have to size the battery correctly for what you actually need. Nail those two things and you're golden. All right, let's get into the numbers. This is the new battery math, and believe me, it's what makes this whole thing so compelling now. First up, the price tag. Since just 2022, the price for a quality LiFePO4 battery has absolutely plummeted. We're talking 40 to 50% less. That huge wall, that barrier to entry that had everyone waiting on the sidelines, yeah, it's been knocked way, way down. Okay, next, let's talk durability. A cycle is just when you charge it up all the way and then use all that power. Easy enough, right? Well, these modern LiFePO4 batteries, they can give you a minimum of 3,000 of those full cycles. And honestly, a lot of them go way higher, up to 6,000. This isn't some gadget you replace in a year or two. This is a long-term asset for your home. So what does 3,000 cycles actually mean in the real world? Well, think about it. If you use it once a day, store up that free solar power during the day and use it all night. That's over 8 years of solid, reliable performance. That's a massive leap from where we were. Okay, this brings us to the single most important number you need to know. Seriously, forget everything else if you have to, but remember this: the cost per kilowatt hour stored. It's simple, really. You just take the total price you paid to get it installed, and you divide it by all the energy it's going to give you over its entire life. This number is your secret weapon. It cuts right through all the brand hype and marketing nonsense and tells you the true cost of using that power. So let's do the math right now. Let's say a good quality installation runs you about 80,000 shillings. When you factor in that 3,000 cycle lifespan we talked about, boom, you get a true cost of under 30 shillings for every single kilowatt hour you pull from that battery. Keep that number, under 30 shillings, in your head. And this is where it gets really interesting. Yeah, grid power might be, 25 shillings a unit right now. So you might think, oh, that's cheaper. But look at the fine print. Your grid costs are guaranteed to go up every single year. Your battery cost? It's fixed. The day you install it, that's your price. You are literally locking in your energy price for the next 8, maybe 10 years. That's a game changer. Okay, so the math is looking pretty good, right? You're probably thinking, I'm sold, where do I sign up? But wait, hold on, because this is the exact moment where most people make a huge, and I mean very expensive, mistake. We've got to talk about the common buyer's trap. I mean, think about it. The chemistry is right, the prices come down, the lifespan is fantastic. So what could possibly go wrong? What's the hidden trap that could just completely wipe out all that great financial return we just figured out? It's this. The single biggest mistake is oversizing your battery. People buy a battery that's way, way too big for what they actually need. You think you're future-proofing, right? But what you're really doing is just throwing money away. And this really shows you what I mean. If you've got this big battery, but you're only ever using, say, 60% of it every night, well, that other 40% is just sitting there. It's wasted capacity. It's money you spent that is doing absolutely nothing for you. And what it does do is wreck your cost per kilowatt hour, basically undoing all those benefits we just talked about. But okay, don't worry, there is a really simple fix for this. So let's pivot from the problem to the solution.
I call it the smart sizing formula, and this is how you make sure every single shilling you put into a battery goes to work for you.
It's a super simple 3-step process. First, just figure out your overnight load. What do you absolutely have to run when the sun is down? You know, your fridge, some lights, your phone charger. Step 2, add up the total wattage for all that stuff. And finally, step 3, take that total number and multiply it by 1.2. That gives you a small, safe buffer. That's it. That's your perfect battery size. Do not buy more than that.
All right, as we start to wrap this up, let's boil it all down into a final checklist. These are the absolute must-haves to keep in mind when you're actually ready to buy.
Just remember these 3 keys to a smart purchase. Number 1, chemistry. Insist on lithium iron phosphate, LiFePO4. Number 2, cycle life. Don't even look at anything with less than 3,000 cycles. And number 3, do the math yourself. Calculate that cost per kilowatt hour. Don't just take the salesperson's word for it.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to one simple idea. Buy based on ROI, not on marketing. Your decision should be about the return on your investment, not some flashy ad or brand name. Let the numbers we talked about today be your guide.
And so I'll leave you with this question to think about. When it comes to your own situation, is your money just sitting there, idle, in a system that's too big? Or is it working hard for you, overnight, every night? The choice and the savings are entirely up to you.